Love is not always a gift. Sometimes, it's a tactic. A cage, a disguise, or a weapon. My name is Elira. I was 26 when the offer came in. Flat broke, credit cards maxed out, half my belongings in a storage unit I couldn't afford. And somehow, still wearing red lipstick. I was waiting tables in a wine bar downtown. The kind of place where people sip $40 glasses and never leave tips. My last audition had bombed. My roommate had moved out. And I was exactly one late rent away from crashing on someone's futon again. So, when he walked in, with a smile like control and a voice like money, I looked up. But not for love. I looked up like a stray dog smells steak. He sat at table 9. Alone. No phone. No laptop. Just, watching. People like that don't hang out. They're always up to something. Cabernet? I asked. No. He smiled. I want something sweet. But not cheap. He wasn't talking about wine. His name was Arian, 35, sharp suit, sharper jawline, the kind of man who made other people stand straighter when he entered the room. He didn't flirt, he evaluated, and after exactly 7 minutes of eye contact and silence, he left me a $100 tip. No number, no name, just a card. I have a role I'd like you to play. Call if you're tired of pretending for free. I waited 3 days before I called. That was my first mistake. We met in a rooftop bar overlooking the city. He handed me a manila envelope. I opened it expecting a script. Instead, it was a contract. 6 months, public appearances, one-on-one dinners, social events, occasional travel, no physical intimacy required unless mutually agreed upon. Compensation, $120,000. I laughed. Is this legal? He didn't blink. You're an actress. I need a girlfriend, one who fits the narrative I've designed. What narrative? He leaned in. That I'm in love. Here's the thing no one tells you about desperation, it blurs your gut instinct. I signed. In the weeks that followed, I became his. On paper, in photos, on every red carpet and charity gala. I learned his favorite wine, his shoe size, the exact point where his jaw tensed when he lied. And I played my role too well. Because I started to feel something real. He wasn't kind, but he was careful. He noticed small things, how I didn't like olives, that I faked laughs when I was anxious, that I used humor to bury pain. And he listened. No one had ever done that. The first time he kissed me, it wasn't part of the job. Neither was what followed, and I let it happen. 3 months in, I was in his penthouse getting ready for a charity event. He'd gone down to the car. I opened the drawer in his study looking for a charger. What I found was a photo. 2 people, a wedding, Arian, and my sister, Ava. We hadn't spoken in years. Different cities, different lives. After our parents died, we both unraveled in opposite directions. She went corporate, I went stage, but there she was, veil, smile, arm around the man I'd just slept with last night. I dropped the frame. It cracked, just like everything inside me. I left the apartment without telling him. That night, I didn't sleep. I paced, I drank, I stared at the ceiling wondering, was I the affair, or the cover-up, or the trap? When I confronted him the next day, he didn't deny it. I married Ava for business, he said coldly. We haven't spoken in years. It was legal, strategic. I needed to be married to gain board control of my father's company. It was a merger, nothing more. And I'm what? I asked. The merger part 2. He looked away. You were never supposed to be real. And I hated how much that hurt. Because I was real. That night, I tried calling Ava. No answer. Next morning, I got a voice note. From her. Elira, if he found you, he's already started again. Leave before he writes your ending too. Everything after that spiraled. Paparazzi. Whispers. An expose that claimed I was a gold digger planted to ruin Arian's name. Photos of us kissing, planted, edited, published. By his team. And then, his disappearance. Gone. No contact. No money. No answers. But Ava showed up. In my apartment. Wearing black. And holding another contract. Let's burn him, she said. You're still playing games, I whispered. No, she said. I'm ending one. Turns out, Arian's marriage to Ava wasn't just a formality. It was a prison. Ava had signed her life away in exchange for shares in his father's empire. But the fine print gave Arian control over her public image, movement, finances, and freedom. He was untouchable, and she had tried to divorce him once. The lawyer she hired disappeared. Literally. We don't expose him, Ava said. We replace him. How? By giving him what he wants most. A woman who makes him drop his guard. Me, she nodded. He already believes he owns you. Let's let him think he does. I should have said no. But hate is a strange cousin of love. And I needed closure. Arian resurfaced in Istanbul, hosting a rebranding gala for Raven River Holdings. I flew there as Elira, the forgiven lover. The rehired escort. The puppet on a diamond leash. He kissed me in front of the cameras. Whispered things in my ear like nothing had happened. Like Ava never existed. And I smiled. Because now I was watching him. Back in his hotel suite, he poured champagne. Told me about his new deals, new targets, new empire, and then, he touched my face. You're my constant, he whispered. Ava was a mistake. But you were designed for me. That night, I let him believe he had me again. I memorized the security code to his vault, the burner phone he used for untraceable conversations, and the name of a woman he accidentally muttered in his sleep. Sarai, Ava and I dug deeper. Sarai was an actress, a dancer, a disappeared girl. She had been hired, like me, to pose as Arian's girlfriend 5 years ago. There were no official records of her after 2019, but Ava found a journal, hidden in their old summer house. A line written in Sarai's hand: "He doesn't fall in love, he absorbs." That's when I realized I was never chosen because I was special. I was chosen because I was easy to erase. The plan was simple. Ava would hack the live feed of Arian's Dubai investor conference. I would switch the presentation file. The press would watch a video of Arian confessing to forging board documents, laundering through shell NGOs, and worse, faking his own mother's will. Evidence, all real, planted by him years ago. We just made sure people saw it. But things didn't go as planned. While I was on stage, pretending to introduce him, I felt a vibration in my heel. A burner message from Ava. "He knows." The lights flickered. Then, blackout. They dragged me backstage. I thought it was security. But it was him. He looked at me, calm, deadly. "You were always going to break character, weren't you?" he said. I shook. I told myself not to cry. That he didn't deserve tears. "I was real," I whispered. "I loved you." He laughed. "That's why I chose you." Then, he leaned in. "But love isn't immunity." He raised his hand. But before he could strike, a bullet shattered the chandelier behind us. Ava. She stepped out from the side, holding a pistol. "I should have shot you 5 years ago," she said. The room spun. Chaos. Screams. Police sirens. Press. In the mess, I blacked out. Arian was arrested. Eventually, Ava disappeared again, and I was left with nothing but scars. But also, freedom. Real, raw, earned freedom. I went back to acting. Small stage plays, unpaid gigs, but I smiled for real. One day, I got a letter. Unmarked. Inside it, an old photograph of Ava and me as kids. And a note in her handwriting. This time, we wrote the ending. And maybe we did.